Good morning guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super exciting because we are going to be exploring Lisbon, Portugal. So this is our very first time here and we are only here for a long weekend. It was kind of a spur of the moment trip and for once we didn't really plan anything out. Wouldn't recommend doing that. But we have a whole bucket list of things that we want to see today, which I will pop up here on the screen for you. So we're gonna try and knock some things off the list and just hit the ground running. It's meant to be a beautiful sunny day, although not super warm, but still warmer than Ireland, so I'm not gonna complain about that. So the very first thing on the agenda before sightseeing is we are going to go and get some brunch. So come on and let's go. We began our day by ordering an Uber from our hotel to Belem Tower. Alternately, you can take the train, but a taxi is faster and Ubers are extremely cheap in Lisbon. Belem Tower is a 16th century fortification made of limestone. Strategically situated at the mouth of the Tagus River, it once served as a ceremonial gateway for Portuguese explorers to embark and disembark from their journeys. However, it's also seen its day in war, most notably against France in 1831, where French ships exchanged fire with the tower. The tower was designed by Francisco de Arruda between 1514 and 1519 and is one of Portugal's proud jewels of architecture from the reign of King D. Manuel. Today in the tower's 4 stories, you can find the governor's room, king's room, audience room, and finally the chapel with its 16th century vaults. The tower was classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983 and included in the Registry of the 7 Wonders of Portugal in 2007. From there was a 10-minute walk to the Monument to the Discoveries, or Pedral dos Descobrimentos. The monument celebrates the Portuguese Age of Discovery during the 15th and 16th centuries. There are a total of 33 figures from the history of the discoveries, with Henry the Navigator at the forefront, who is regarded as the main initiator of what would be known as the Age of Discovery. Next on the list of places to see is Jeronimos Monastery, which is an 8-minute walk from the discoveries. The Jeronimos Monastery is the most impressive symbol of Portugal's power and wealth during the Age of Discovery. King Manuel I built it in 1502 on the site of hermitage founded by Prince Henry the Navigator, where Vasco da Gama and his crew spent their last night in Portugal in prayer before leaving for India. It was built to commemorate Vasco da Gama's voyage and to give thanks to the Virgin Mary for its success. Miraculously, it withstood the 1755 Lisbon earthquake, which decimated much of the city. The monastery is one of the most prominent examples of the Portuguese late Gothic Manueline style of architecture in Lisbon. It was also classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, along with the Tower of Belem in 1983. You simply cannot come to Portugal without trying their famous pastries. During the 1820 Liberal Revolution, all convents and monasteries in Portugal were shut down. Beside Jeronimos Monastery was a sugarcane refinery attached to a general store. In an attempt at survival, someone from the monastery began offering sweet pastries for sale in the store. In 1837, the baking of the Pasteis de Belem began in the buildings attached to the refinery, following the ancient secret recipe from the monastery. Today, the recipe is known exclusively to the master confectioners who handcrafted the pastries in the secret room and remain unchanged to present day. To finish off our first day in Lisbon, we hopped in an Uber and headed to the Sanctuary of Christ the King. It is a Catholic monument and shrine dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus Christ, overlooking the city of Lisbon. It stands at a whopping 133 meters or 436 feet above sea level and overlooks the Tagus River. Below you will see Ponte 25 de Abril, which you may notice looks eerily similar to San Francisco's Golden Golden Gate Bridge? Well, that's because it was built by the same company. The next morning we grabbed a quick bite to eat. We stopped by the famous ginger shop and ordered 2 shots of ginger. I highly recommend you try this as it's a staple among Lisbon culture. If you do plan to make the trip to Sintra to visit Pena Palace, I highly recommend arriving at the park entrance instead of the main entrance. Not only is it less crowded, but you can enjoy a leisurely scenic stroll through the park on your way to the palace. It's about a 25-minute walk, and there's lots of beautiful ponds and structures to stop and look at on the way. Pena Palace was the highlight of the trip for me, honestly. It's one of the most beautiful castles I've ever seen, with the bold colors, architectural details, and tile work. Where the palace stands now was once an old monastery which had initially been damaged by a lightning strike and then toppled to ruins during the 1755 earthquake. In 1838, King Ferdinand acquired the old monastery and the surrounding land, and set out to transform the remains of the monastery into a palace that would serve as a summer residence for the Portuguese royal family. The old ruins of the monastery were thus transformed into a massive palace with ornate windows, vibrant colors, and astonishing tile work that we see today. In 1955, the palace and the rest of the cultural landscape of Sintra were classified as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO.
Hello.
It was a short walk to the Castle of Moors, which was the next stop on our list. The Castle of Moors is a hilltop medieval castle built by the Moors in the 8th and 9th centuries during the period of Muslim Iberia. It was central in a territory that was primarily agricultural and which was necessary to protect its population. It was an important strategic point during the Reconquista and was taken by Christian forces after the fall of Lisbon in 1147. It is classified as a national monument, part of the Sintra cultural landscape, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. From there, we took a tuk-tuk for €10 into town to enjoy some port wine. We had some time to kill, so we decided to check out the National Palace of Sintra. To be honest, this was extremely underwhelming and, in my opinion, not worth the money. With that being said, I think I would have been satisfied if we had just done the port wine before heading home for the evening. That concludes our quick weekend getaway in Lisbon, Portugal. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up on your way out if you want to see more travel videos in the future, and thank you so much for watching.